We are here on Treaty 6 land, the traditional home of the Métis Nation, and at St. Mary's Church, the first church built for settlers in the Diocese of Saskatchewan. The Diocese of Saskatchewan is an administrative unit of the Anglican Church of Canada, with its sea city, the home of its bishop, in Prince Albert. While we are here, we like to honor those who have gone before us, our First Nations people, the Métis, and the members of the settler community. And buried in the churchyard around us are numerous members of the Métis community and the early settlers of the Prince Albert area. The church was built in 1875 and served as the church for the Anglicans of the Prince Albert settlement until about 1911. At the time, the Prince Albert settlement was considered to extend from what is now 6th Avenue East all the way out into Lily Plain. Buried in the churchyard is the first bishop of the Diocese of Saskatchewan, the Right Reverend John McLean. We'll look at his headstone in the future. Bishop McLean was very interested in ensuring that people received a good education, and as a result, in 1879, established the College of Emmanuel. Emmanuel College, actually in 1882, received federal government proclamation, making it the first university of Saskatchewan. The college stood just to the south of the present church building and ran in various forms up until June of 1908. At that point in time, it was a student residence, and it was considered by the First Nations people to be an excellent school for their children. Part of the reason for that was the fact that the principal, John Mackay, and the vice principal, James Flett, were Métis and could speak not only English and Cree, but several other languages as well. In 1908, it was decided to close the school because the federal government was no longer willing to fund it. The federal government, under Sir Wilfrid Laurier, had decided that the school wasn't meeting the expectations of his government to integrate the First Nations youth into the settler community. Some people are of the understanding that Saskatchewan Penitentiary was chosen by the populace of Prince Albert rather than choosing the University of Saskatchewan. This could be no more than further from the truth. In fact, members of the community worked very hard to have the university established in Prince Albert, but it became a decision between a number of communities in the province, and when the vote was taken, it boiled down to a decision between Regina and Saskatoon. The fact that the railroad ran through both those communities made it very important that the university be placed there. Some of the representatives on the university board from Regina, along with the president of the university, wanted it to be placed in Regina. However, people from the north, including those from Prince Albert, Saskatoon, Battlefords, and some people from the south decided that they wanted it to be placed in Saskatoon. When the vote came down, it was 5-4 in favor of Saskatoon. I also have documentation that shows that even though the university wasn't established until 1909, in 1907, the federal government was buying property around Prince Albert for the placement of the penitentiary here. So 2 years before the university was established, the federal government decided to place the penitentiary here. The penitentiary wasn't opened until 1911, but there were steps taken as early as November 1907 to place it here. I've often thought that the reason that they decided to place it here was that Prince Albert had housed the territorial jail from 1886 until 1905, when it became a province. And also it was the divisional headquarters of the Federal Court of Canada. We'll now go outside and talk about some of the interesting stories relating to the people who were interred in the cemetery.